I'm super excited to introduce you to HuntStand's new Whitetail Rut Map, an incredible new tool I created exclusively for HuntStand's new Pro Whitetail tier within the HuntStand app. This map reveals rut or breeding data for 4,240 counties or parishes in 43 states and covers over 98% of the entire whitetails range in the U.S. Never before has whitetail breeding data been mapped to this level, making it a truly unique and useful tool for deer hunters and managers alike. For the purposes of this map, peak rut was defined as the 2-week period during which more than 50% of adult whitetail does typically breed. All data used for this map were provided by deer biologists from state fish and wildlife agencies in the 43 states represented on the map. As expected, the peak whitetail rut in the northern half of the United States was very consistent. Roughly on a line from Oklahoma to North Carolina, nearly every population north of this line experienced a traditional October or November rut. However, south of this line, considerable variation occurs. The vast differences in southern rutting dates are likely a combination of factors including latitude, genetics, and stalking source, dating back to deer stalking days. In northern latitudes, late breeding, and therefore late fawning, cannot be perpetuated over time because of poor fawn survival during winter. In the south, however, late-born fawns typically survive, allowing individual deer herds to adapt breeding strategies to take advantage of localized weather and habitat conditions. It's also common for deer herds near the equator to breed year-round, so latitude definitely plays a key role. Incredibly, this map reveals that the whitetail rut from the earliest to the latest date extends 210 days in the United States and across 9 different calendar months, from July to March. Not surprising, November is the rut king, with 2,810 counties or 66% of all deer herds experiencing the majority of their ruts during this magical month. This is especially true throughout the Midwest, Northeast, and Northwest, where nearly all whitetail herds rut sometime from the last few days of October through the end of November. Both the earliest and latest rut start dates, July 22nd and February 17th, were observed in Florida. In fact, Florida holds the distinction of being the only state in which a whitetail rut occurs in 9 consecutive calendar months, from July to March, and the only state in which you can hunt the rut in July, August, September, and March. However, the undisputed late rut states are Alabama and Mississippi, with the vast majority of populations in these 2 states experiencing their ruts in December or January. These 2 states, in addition to Florida and Louisiana, are the only ones in which you can also hunt a whitetail rut in February. Texas is home to a unique rutting pattern, which moves in a counterclockwise pattern around the state. The earliest rut begins in southeast Texas near Corpus Christi. It then moves north through East Texas, across the northern and western portions of the state, eventually circling back to South Texas for the latest dates, just a few counties from the earliest. This provides a unique 3-month rut sequence in the Lone Star State. Since the overall rut occurs over a 210-day period, it allowed me to break the rut into 3 70-day periods: early rut, traditional rut, and late rut. This analysis revealed that 119 counties, or 3%, experience an early rut. 3,354 counties, or 79%, experience a traditional rut, and 767 counties, or 7%, experience a late rut. Interestingly, there are only 4 states in which a hunter can hunt the early rut, and only 7 states where late rut hunting opportunities are available. However, hunters can experience a traditional rut in all 43 states. It should be noted that this map reveals peak conception dates, which is not necessarily when bucks are most active. Many hunters realize that during the peak of the rut, buck movement can be very intense or can be very quiet during the so-called lockdown phase, when bucks are tending receptive does, often in heavy cover. Therefore, the days immediately prior to the peak rut period, often called the pre-rut, as well as the days immediately following this period, the immediate post-rut, may be just as good or even better from a buck movement and visibility perspective. The data from this map can also be used to estimate second rut and fawn drop dates in any county. To estimate the second rut, simply add 30 days to the peak rut. To estimate fawn drop dates, add 195 days. But keep in mind, that both of these activities will occur in earnest for about 14 days following the date calculated. The second rut could be an effective time to harvest bucks pursuing any adult does that didn't breed during the peak rut period, as well as fawn and yearling does that often breed for the first time during the second rut. Identifying the peak fawning period can be useful in timing of predator removal efforts and avoiding disturbance such as mowing, disking, or burning to core fawning areas when fawns are immobile and highly vulnerable. As I think you can see, HuntStand's new Whitetail Rut Map can be incredibly useful in many ways, from deciding when to hunt your favorite area, to researching rut dates in new states, to the timing of your deer and habitat management efforts. But keep in mind, this new tool is only available in HuntStand's new Pro Whitetail tier and just one of many new features that will greatly improve your hunting success. To get yours today, go to HuntStand.com.